The awakening I had transmigrated. And of all people, I ended up as the spineless, doormat protagonist who, in the original story, snapped and turned into a full-blown psychopath to get his revenge. The original ending? He paralyzed the female CEO and chained the A-list pop idol in a basement, treating him like a dog. You call that a satisfying ending? That's a documentary from a mental asylum. Watching that preening pop star holding a cup of hot coffee, clearly intending to splash it on me, I didn't hesitate. I grabbed the solid crystal ashtray and smashed it right into his wrist. Crack! The coffee spilled all over his crotch. Why ruin your own life for revenge? I have working limbs and a system. Why not just send these pieces of trash to prison to make license plates? The headache hit me like a sledgehammer. It felt like a demolition crew was going to town inside my skull. I snapped my eyes open. I was in a minimalist luxury lounge. The air smelled of expensive cologne and the distinct, nauseating scent of impending artificial drama. Jax, are you ready? Caleb is about to come in. An assistant with glasses urged coldly from the door. Jax. Caleb? In that instant, a mudslide of memories crashed into my brain. 3 seconds later, I covered my face and uttered my first words in this new world. Holy SHD. I was in a book. Specifically, a torturous romance novel titled Wake Up Simp. I'm done being a stand-in. Yes, that's a real title, and ironically, I wrote it. I was Jax Harper, the male lead who gets abused for 300 chapters before finally attaining enlightenment. According to the plot, the original Jax was a stuntman with peak physical conditioning. He even had a hacker sister and a legendary mechanic mentor. But he was the ultimate doormat. To pay for his sister's medical bills, he signed a slave contract with Sterling Dynamics to be the stunt double for Caleb Reed, a pretty boy idol with nothing to offer but his face. Caleb looked cool on camera. Jax bled behind the scenes. Stolen credit? He endured it. Cyberbullying? He took it. Gaslit by the female lead, Victoria Sterling, who told him he lacked Caleb's aristocratic aura? He swallowed that too. If it were just that, it would be a standard angst novel. But the kicker was the epilogue I had written. In the main ending, Jax seemingly forgave everyone, taking a warm family photo. But the epilogue turned into an R-rated horror movie. The suppression broke Jax's mind. He turned Victoria into a paraplegic, force-feeding her daily while playing videos of her past humiliations. He kept Caleb on a leash in the basement, making him roll over for food. He even groomed Victoria's bratty niece, Bella, into a twisted accomplice. This was supposed to be a revenge fantasy? It was Hannibal meets Saw. Destroying your own soul to punish trash? That's not winning. That's mutual destruction. Am I insane? I cursed at the air, springing up from the sofa. I walked to the mirror. The handsome man staring back had slightly long hair and gloomy eyes. That was the original Jax. I ran a hand through the hair, revealing a fierce gaze. In my old life, I was an extreme sports junkie and a professional internet troll. My motto is, revenge is a dish best served immediately and loudly. I wasn't going to be a doormat, and I definitely wasn't becoming a dark psychopath. Why spend a lifetime healing from a few years of crap? I have a system. It hasn't dinged yet, but that's standard issue for transmigrators, right? I'm going to send this garbage to prison, take their settlement money, cure my sister, and go surf in Hawaii or ski in the Alps. Forgiveness? Redemption? My logic is simple. As long as I have zero shame, the only people suffering will be them. Just then, the door pushed open. A man in a pure white bespoke suit, hair slicked back with enough oil to fry an egg, walked in holding a steaming cup of black coffee. Caleb Reed, the book's main antagonist, a mama's boy and a giant man baby. Because his acting and athleticism were constantly shown up by his stunt double, he harbored a deep grudge against me. He wore a smirk that begged for a fist, his eyes darting maliciously toward a VR panoramic camera behind me. New, expensive equipment the company had just bought. According to the script, he would pretend his hand slipped and throw the scalding coffee at me. The original Jax, to protect the camera, would idiotically block it with his body, resulting in severe burns on his chest. Then, Victoria Sterling would enter, ignore Jax's injuries, and dock his pay for 6 months because his scream scared Caleb. Looking at Caleb's fake face, the image of him on a dog chain from the epilogue flashed in my mind. I shuddered. That ending is too gross. I prefer something direct. My hand quietly moved toward the coffee table. Sitting there was a solid crystal ashtray, custom-made by Sterling Dynamics to show off, weighing about 2 pounds. The counterattack Caleb walked slowly, his micro-expressions broadcasting, "I'm about to do something bad," so loudly a blind man could see it. "Jax," Caleb smiled fake LY, raising the coffee cup. "You've worked hard these past few days." Here, this coffee is specifically for you. His wrist began to tilt. The scalding black liquid looked menacing in slow motion. According to the script, I should be diving for the camera right now. But sorry, I tore up the script. The moment Caleb's wrist twitched, I moved. I didn't dodge and I didn't block. I grabbed that brick-like crystal ashtray, wound up my arm, and with the form of a major league batter swinging for the fences, I smashed it directly into Caleb's wrist. Screw your suffering in silence. Crack! A tooth-aching thud echoed, the sound of bone meeting crystal. Arg! Caleb let out a scream like a slaughtered pig. Under the intense pain, his hand lost all control. The cup of boiling Americano, calculated to hit me, traced a beautiful parabola in the air. Then every single drop poured directly onto his own crotch. OWWW. Now it wasn't just a slaughtered pig. It was a pig being boiled alive. Caleb clutched his junk, curling up like a cooked shrimp, rolling frantically on the expensive carpet. My, it burns. I calmly placed the ashtray back on the table, even using a tissue to wipe away non-existent fingerprints. At that moment, the lounge door was shoved open. A woman in a power suit with an icy, imposing aura stormed in. Victoria Sterling, CEO of Sterling Dynamics. The woman the original Jax loved to death, only to end up paralyzing her in the bad timeline. She saw Caleb rolling on the floor, and her face paled. What happened? Caleb, are you okay? Victoria rushed over to help him up, then whipped her head around, eyes shooting daggers at me. Jax Harper, what are you doing? Caleb kindly brings you coffee, and you assault him? Here it comes. The classic, I won't listen to explanations. I only care who's screaming louder segment. I stood there, hands in my pockets, looking at the toxic couple with a mocking sneer. Suddenly, a crisp electronic voice chimed in my brain. Ding! Host detected encountering moral blackmail and unjust accusation. Truth Livestream system activated. Current scene, Sterling Dynamics Lounge. Global traffic hijacked. Mandatory live stream initiating. Starter pack received. Truth Aura. Range. 50 meters. And peak physical condition card. Permanent. I raised an eyebrow. Just like that. I looked at Victoria. Behind her, an invisible live stream interface seemed to hover in the air, comments scrolling wildly. Of course, nobody knew what was happening yet. The chat was mostly, where is this? And what happened to Caleb? Victoria was still ranting. Jax, speak. Are you mute? Do you know how much Caleb's hands are insured for? Those are hands for playing piano. And that noise just now. Is the VR camera okay? While scolding me, she anxiously checked the camera. As for Caleb clutching his crotch on the floor and me standing there unharmed, neither seemed as important as that piece of equipment. I laughed. Ms. Sterling. I spoke, my voice calm but resonant. Your precious artist was probably trying to practice some Shaolin iron crotch technique. Sadly, his skill wasn't up to par, and he backfired. What nonsense are you spouting? Victoria shouted. As for that lens, I nonchalantly lifted my foot and hooked the tripod of the VR camera. Crash! The six-figure equipment toppled over, the lens shattering into dust. The room went dead silent. Only Caleb was still whimpering softly. Oops, I said with zero sincerity. Caleb's pig squealing shattered it. Ms. Sterling, remember to make him pay for it. It's a workplace accident. Victoria trembled with rage, pointing a finger at my nose. Jax, are you crazy? System Awakening, do you believe I can blacklist you from the entire industry? Don't you want the medical money for your sick sister? Mentioning the sister would usually make the original Jax kneel and beg, but my eyes just went cold. Truth Aura on, I commanded mentally. The next second, an invisible wave blanketed the lounge. Caleb, who was still playing dead on the floor, suddenly opened his mouth uncontrollably. Victoria, you idiot. Forget the camera. Call an ambulance. My balls are cooking. And why was this coffee so hot? I intended to disfigure Jax's face with it. So why did it all spill on me? As soon as the words left his mouth, the air froze. Victoria froze. Caleb froze, terrified, clapping a hand over his mouth, unable to understand why he had spoken his inner thoughts aloud. Meanwhile, on the system interface, the comment section exploded. WTF? Did I hear that right? Caleb wanted to disfigure his stunt double? That's vicious. Is this a broadcast accident? Which company's stream is this? This is intense. I looked at Caleb's horrified face, feeling incredibly satisfied. Ding. Villain Caleb Reed suffered major social death. Host rewarded with 100 Mad Dog points. Ding. Host behavior was extremely rude, but satisfying. Bonus 50 Mad Dog points. Excellent. I walked up to Victoria, looking down at the girl boss who still hadn't processed the situation. Did you hear that, Ms. Sterling? Your idol wanted to disfigure me. That attempted assault. Oh wait, actually, it's self-inflicted assault. I pulled a crumpled resignation letter, actually a napkin I scribbled on earlier, from my pocket and slapped it onto Victoria's face. I quit. Breach of contract fees? See you in court. Now, I'm going to see my sister. Get out of the way. Good dogs don't block the path. I shoulder-checked Victoria aside and strode out. Behind me, her shrill scream echoed. Jax Harper, get back here. Who do you think you are without Sterling Dynamics? Without looking back, I raised a middle finger to the air. Your daddy. Walking out of the Sterling Dynamics building, the sunlight forced me to squint. It felt good. Too damn good. This was the rhythm a transmigrator should have. Enduring humiliation? Sleeping on brushwood? That's for people without a system. Since I have cheats, I'm going to be the sun hanging in the sky. Anyone who stares directly at me goes blind. I hailed a rideshare and headed straight for the city hospital. On the way, I browsed the system store. The Mad Dog points could be exchanged for all sorts of things. Elite hacking skills, basic, 50 points God-level parkour skills, 100 points future MedPod trial voucher, cures incurable diseases, 200 points bad luck sticker, 10 points. I had 150 points. System, can that MedPod voucher completely cure my sister's uremia? Answer, yes. The voucher utilizes 22nd century technology to restructure kidney function. No side effects, full recovery in 10 minutes. I need 50 more points. I rub my chin. Looks like I need to find another sucker to farm points from. Just then, the driver's radio broadcasted an entertainment news update. Tonight, Sterling Dynamics will host its annual investment gala at the Pinnacle Club. It is reported that Middle Eastern tycoon Sheikh Hassan will attend. CEO Victoria Sterling stated she will showcase the company's latest extreme sport project. The Pinnacle Club? Wasn't it the second major angst point in the original novel? In the book, at this gala, to please the thrill-seeking tycoon, Caleb forced Jax to perform a parkour stunt on a 30-foot-long dining table, jumping over layers of champagne towers. The original Jax felt like a clown and refused. Caleb sarcastically remarked that if he didn't jump, the investment would fall through, and his sister's medical fees would vanish. In the end, Jax didn't jump, but to show loyalty, he crushed a wine glass in his hand, standing there with a bloody hand trying to move the investors. The result? Victoria was disgusted and ordered the carpet changed, calling him filthy. What a moron. I cursed the original Jax, then told the driver, change of plans. To the Pinnacle Club. The driver paused. Young man, you can't just walk into that place. It's a high society banquet tonight. I grinned, showing white teeth. It's okay. I'm delivering takeout. A big surprise. Short 50 points, right? Victoria, Caleb, Daddy is coming. The art of table flipping the Pinnacle Club was resplendent with gold and jade. I didn't have an invitation, but that wouldn't stop someone with maxed out parkour skills. It was a trial card from the system, but now permanent thanks to the starter pack. I bypassed the front security, scaling a drain pipe on the side of the building to the second floor terrace. My movements were fluid, like an agile leopard. If a camera had caught that, it would have trended instantly. Inside the banquet hall, lights flashed and wine flowed. Caleb, crotch scalded and all, was actually there. He'd changed into loose, wide-leg trousers and walked with a waddle like a duck recovering from hemorrhoid surgery. But his face still wore that brave, professional smile as he chatted with a bearded man in a turban. That bearded man was the investor, Sheikh Hassan. Victoria stood nearby in a red evening gown, looking like a blooming man-eating flower. I straightened my slightly wrinkled t-shirt and swaggered in. Yo, lively party. My voice boomed through the hall via the microphone. I casually switched on a lapel mic while passing the sound equipment. The room went silent. Everyone stared at the anomaly in jeans, a t-shirt, and old canvas sneakers. Jax! Victoria's face turned black as a pot bottom. Security? Where is security? How did this trash get in here? Seeing me, Caleb instinctively clamped his legs together and shrunk behind Hassan. Stop yelling. I waved a hand, walking straight to the 30-foot luxury dining table. I grabbed a delicate pastry and stuffed it in my mouth. I heard someone was performing monkey tricks tonight, so I came to watch. Hassan looked at me with interest, asking in broken English, Ms. Sterling, who is this? Victoria was about to explain I was a madman, but Caleb beat her to it. He rolled his eyes, thinking this was a great chance to humiliate me. With so many security guards, surely I wouldn't dare get violent. Mr. Hassan, this is our company stuntman, Jax Harper. He is also the one who will perform the long table leap for you tonight. Caleb smiled darkly. Jax, since you're here, show everyone. As long as you jump from this end to that end without knocking over a single glass, mister, Hassan's investment is secured. The guests started jeering. These rich people loved watching others being treated like performing monkeys. Victoria looked at me coldly. Jax, this is your last chance. Perform well, and I might overlook your previous actions. Overlook? I laughed, my shoulders shaking. System, is the stream on? It's been on, host. Viewer count has crossed 100,000. Good. I walked to one end of the long table, looking at the pristine white tablecloth laden with expensive red wine, steaks, lobsters, candles, and a towering champagne pyramid. Jump over it? I looked at Caleb. You sure? Of course, Caleb gloated. It's art. All right, for art. I took a deep breath, centering my energy. Then, my hands clamped onto the edge of the tablecloth. Everyone thought I was about to run. The next second, I engaged my core, veins popping in my arms, and yanked backward with everything I had. Crash! The 30-foot-long dining spread, along with every steak, bottle of wine, candle, and flour, rose into the air like a tsunami. It was a textbook table flip, a sky-filling rain of red wine and steak, aided by gravity, accurately carpet-bombed Victoria, Caleb, and the unlucky Hassan standing by the table. Clang! Crash! Smash! The sound of shattering glass was symphonic. Victoria's red gown was now decorated with cream and lobster shells, half a lemon perched on her head. Caleb was worse off. An unopened bottle of red wine smashed on his foot, causing him to emit that pig slaughter scream once again. The room petrified. The live stream chat went insane. HLYSHD. Now, that is art. Satisfying. So damn satisfying. Who is this guy? I'm a fan. I clapped the crumbs off my hands, looking at the three disheveled figures, and flashed a brilliant smile. Sorry about that, Ms. Sterling. You know me. Hand-eye coordination issues. I can't carry a tray steadily, so I just flipped the table. How's the red wine bath? Fits your black-hearted capitalist vibe. Victoria trembled, pointing at me, unable to speak. You. Hassan wiped cream off his face, about to explode with rage. I flipped my hand and pulled out a business card, one I'd borrowed from a Red Bull executive at the entrance. Sister's Redemption. I shoved the card into Hassan's hand. Old man, stop playing with a company that's about to go bankrupt. Go to Red Bull. They have money and you don't have to watch these monkey shows. If you want to see real extreme sports, next time I'll take you to jump into a volcano. Isn't that better than watching these two clowns? Hassan paused, looked at the card, then at my arrogant expression. Surprisingly, he didn't get angry. There was even a hint of appreciation in his eyes. Interesting. A young man with character, Hassan muttered. At that moment, the system notification sounded like angels singing. Ding! Detected host completed the epic achievement table flip. Extremely rude, extremely satisfying. Reward Mad Dog points, 500 points. I'm rich. Jax, I'm calling the police. I'll put you in jail. Victoria finally shrieked. Call them. I shrugged indifferently. While you're at it, have them check your company's taxes and Caleb's insurance fraud records for those accidental injuries. All right, the truth aura is still active. Ms. Sterling, want to tell everyone how you actually despise Caleb and just want to milk his traffic for money. Victoria's face went sheet white, and she clamped her hands over her mouth. She realized with horror that she genuinely wanted to shout that exact sentence. I whistled, turning toward the door. Eat slowly, everyone. Don't waste the food on the floor. I have business, I'm out. Behind me lay absolute chaos and countless shock stares. Walking out of the Pinnacle Club, I looked at the night sky and exhaled a long breath of murky air. 550 points. Sister, Big Brother is coming to save you. Downtown hospital, nephrology ward. It was late night. In the hospital bed, a girl as pale and thin as a sheet of paper was hooked up to tubes, undergoing dialysis. That was Lily Harper, the original Jax's only family and the sole reason he was willing to be a dog. In the book, Lily was a hacker genius, but because of her illness, she was controlled by Victoria. She eventually watched her brother go mad, powerless to stop it. I walked to the bed, looking at the sleeping girl. A surge of tenderness I'd never felt before rose in my heart. Probably residual emotion from the original owner, but now, it was my responsibility. Jax! The girl seemed to sense something, opening her eyes groggily, her voice weak. Why are you here? Don't you have work? I quit. I tucked the blanket around her. That garbage job? Not even a dog would do it. Lily paused, then a sly glint flashed in her dull eyes. About time. Victoria is an old witch. Her company's firewall is full of holes. I wanted to hack in and hang a banner saying I am a pig for ages. I laughed. True to being a future hacker god, this personality was just like mine. No need to hack the firewall. I just taught her a lesson on the physical layer. I patted her head. Now close your eyes. Big Brother is going to perform a magic trick. What magic? The kind that makes you healthy. I'm mentally commanded. System. Redeem future MedPod trial voucher. Target. Lily Harper. Redemption successful. Consume 200 Mad Dog points. Treatment initiating. Due to environmental restrictions, the MedPod will repair via nanolight form. Visual effects masked. Undetectable to outsiders. I felt a warm current flow through my palm into Lily's body. A miraculous scene occurred, visible only to me via the system data. Lily's atrophied kidney cells were regenerating and repairing at shocking speed. Her pale face began to flush pink, her breathing becoming steady and strong. 10 minutes later, Lily bolted upright, ripping the tubes off herself. Jax, I don't hurt anymore. I feel like I could run an 800-meter dash. She stared at her hands in shock, touching her lower back. Shoo, I put a finger to my lips. This is our secret. Your brother is a peerless divine doctor. Don't tell anyone, or I'll be taken away for dissection. Although confused, Lily nodded obediently, seeing my firm gaze. Now, I grinned wickedly, pulling out my phone. Since you're healthy, can you help your brother with some work? Doing what? Lily's eyes sparkled. Victoria and Caleb are definitely buying bots to smear me online right now. You're a hacker genius. Can you show them that the internet isn't a lawless place? Lily smiled like a little demon, pulling a tablet from under her pillow. She actually hid that there. Jax, do you want Caleb's pre-plastic surgery photos? Or Victoria's tax evasion ledger? Or the chat logs between Caleb and what's her name? I was stunned. You have all that? I've been saving them, just waiting for you to quit. Lily's fingers flew across the screen. That old witch. Just give the order, and I'll make her stock price hit the floor tomorrow. Good sister, I sighed. Definitely related. Just as we were plotting the downfall of Sterling Dynamics, the war door was rudely shoved open. Speaking of the devil, Victoria, flanked by 2 bodyguards, stood menacingly at the door. She had evidently changed clothes, but her makeup was still smeared. Jax Harper, I knew you'd be here, Victoria said coldly. You think you can run after causing a scene? I'm giving you 2 choices. First, release a video apology immediately, admit you went crazy, and sign a 10-year pro bono contract to atone. Second, I cut off your sister's medical funds right now and kick you out of the hospital. She glanced at Lily on the bed with contempt. Your sister's disease. Without my money, she won't last a month, will she? In the original book, this was Jax's death spot. But now, Lily hopped off the bed, standing barefoot on the floor, looking more imposing than Victoria. Old hag, is your menopause early? Lily put her hands on her hips. Do I look sick to you? Victoria froze. This wasn't in the script. Why was the invalid jumping around? I stepped in front of my sister, looking at Victoria like she was a clown. Ms. Sterling, your threat of cutting funds is outdated. My sister is cured. Medical miracle, understand? Impossible. Victoria shrieked. Nothing is impossible. I stepped closer, forcing her back into the corridor. And don't talk about 10-year atonement contracts. Are you legally illiterate? That's a slave contract. As for medical bills, I shook my phone. The screen showed a massive transfer from Hassan. Mental damage compensation he tipped me after seeing the table flip video because he thought I had guts. Vicky actually helped bridge the connection. Red Bull wants to sign me. Daddy has money now. Instead, Ms. Sterling, I leaned in her ear, whispering, go check your company intranet. My sister slipped. She might have accidentally posted Caleb's private photos to your official website. Oh, and CC the IRS. Victoria's pupils dilated. Just then, her phone rang. It was her secretary, sobbing. Ms. Sterling, bad news. The company website is hacked. It's full of Caleb's photos, and the tax bureau just called to inquire. Victoria's phone clattered to the floor. Get out. I pointed to the elevator. Don't act out your tragedy in a hospital. It's bad luck. If you appear before me or my sister again, I won't just flip a table. I'll flip your skull. Watching Victoria flee in panic, I put my arm around my sister's shoulder. Jax, where do we go next? To eat something good, then find a big house. I looked at the neon lights outside. Our good life is just starting. The paparazzi's loyalty on the first day of moving Lily into the 5-star hotel executive suite. I met the least paparazzi-like paparazzi of my life. Godfather, please accept this bow from your little brother. In the hotel lobby, a 300-pound man rolled toward me like a meatball. Without a word, He tried to hug my leg. The security guard watched, dumbfounded, baton raised halfway, unsure whether to taste the fat man paying homage. I took a step back, looking disgusted. Who are you? Running an insurance scam? The fat man scrambled up with surprising agility, pushed up his glasses, thick as beer bottle bottoms, face red, fat trembling with excitement. I'm Tubbs, online handle Chaos Star. Brother, I filmed the table flip video at the Pinnacle Club. That angle, that movement, the close-up of the wine hitting Caleb's face. Nobody but me, Tubbs, could capture that soul. I raised an eyebrow. So the video that sent me to the top of the trending list was shot by this guy. I had to admit, it was well shot. Especially the frame where Caleb clutched his foot screaming. It was edited into a slow-motion meme, currently sitting at 10 million views. So, I looked at him. I want to follow you. Tubbs slapped his chest. I've been in the entertainment industry for 10 years, specializing in celebrity dirt, but I've never seen a refreshing mudslide like you. You are the content library of my dreams. I want to be your exclusive cameraman, documenting your entire journey of fixing these entertainment demons. I sized him up. He wasn't in the original book, or maybe he was just an extra, but the fanaticism in his eyes wasn't fake. I didn't need a cameraman. The system's live stream view was omnipotent, but sometimes a third-person perspective was needed for the kill shot. Fine. I tossed him a room key card, but I have a condition. Why go crazy? Run fast. Don't get caught in the crossfire. And don't call me Godfather. Call me Mad Jax. You got it, Mad Jax. Tubbs caught the key card like it was a royal decree. Once settled, Lily emerged from the bedroom, hugging her tablet, a sneer on her lips. Jax, Sterling Dynamics is acting up again. I leaned over to look. A new topic was trending on Twitter. Hashtag Sterling Dynamics Charity Day. Hashtag Caleb Reed injured but brave. Clicking it, I saw Sterling Dynamics' official statement. Essentially, to give back to society, Sterling Dynamics would host a Guardian Angel charity parent-child sports meet tomorrow, inviting celebrities and their kids. The kicker? They specifically tagged me. And Mad Jax, although you left the company, we still consider you family. This event is to raise money for impoverished children. We hope you can come. If you don't, does that mean your previous sense of justice was fake? Heard your sister recovered. Why not bring her along for fun? It was an open trap. If I didn't go, I was guilty, heartless. If I went, I was walking into a wolf's den. Furthermore, I noticed the photo attached to the tweet. Besides Caleb's over-photoshopped face, there was a little girl in a princess dress, smiling innocently. Bella Sterling, Victoria's niece. In the original book, this 6-year-old was already an expert at framing people, eventually growing up into a sociopath. In the book, Jax was ruined by this brat at this very event. Bella deliberately fell, accusing Jax of pushing her, leading to him being net-mobbed for hitting a child and forced to kneel and apologize. Jax, this is obviously a trap. Lily frowned. I've met that Bella. She's bad news. Last time she poured Coke on my keyboard and cried to Victoria that I scared her. I looked at the sweet smile of the girl in the photo, my eyes growing cold. A trap? That depends on who the hunter is. Since they want to play moral blackmail, I'll go teach them that if I have no morals, they can't blackmail me. I turned to Tubbs, who was polishing his lens. Tubbs, charge up. Tomorrow we're shooting a documentary titled Guide to Taming Brats. The Brats Trap. The next day's event was held at the largest sports park in the city center. Victoria had really spent a fortune to launder the company's image. Flags waved, luxury cars gathered, and media with long lenses were everywhere. The moment Tubbs, Lily, and I got out of the car, flashbulbs blinded us. Mad Jax is here. He actually dared to come. Heard he not only beat Caleb, but angered Miz Sterling into fainting. She'll keep it down, this guy's crazy. He might flip your skull. Ignoring the whispers, I wore sunglasses, casual clothes, hands in pockets, walking with the aura of a runway model. Lily wore a black goth dress, chewing gum, radiating a don't-touch-me coldness. Tubbs, carrying the camera, followed like a dedicated bodyguard. Oh my Jax, you really came. Victoria approached in a relatable white tracksuit, wearing a standard fake smile. Caleb was beside her. His legs seemed better, but his eyes were filled with venom. Between them, holding Victoria's hand, was the little girl with twin ponytails. Bella Sterling, the legendary brat. She was indeed deceptive, big eyes, round face like a doll. But look closely, and you'd see a shrewd malice that didn't belong to her age. Uncle Jax, Bella called out sweetly, letting go of Victoria's hand and running toward me. Reporters immediately raised their cameras to capture this heartwarming scene. However, just as she was about to pounce on my leg, I sidestepped 3 meters away like I was dodging the plague. Bella lunged at empty air, nearly face-planting. She froze, clearly not expecting me to dodge. According to the script, she should fall and cry now. But before she could act, I spoke. Hold up, kid. Uncle has mysophobia, and I'm allergic to fakeness. The smell of pick-me coming off you is too strong. Stay away. The crowd went into an uproar. The reporters were stunned. Speaking like that to a 6-year-old? This Mad Jax really was mad. Victoria's face changed. She immediately pulled Bella behind her, scolding, Jax, how can you talk to a child like that? Bella just wanted to say hi. You have no class. Class. I scoffed, taking off my sunglasses. Ms. Sterling forgot my brand? I have no class. Besides, the way that kid ran over. She didn't look like she wanted to hug me. She looked like she wanted to bite me. What? Did she miss her rabies shot? You. Victoria choked. Bella finally reacted, lips trembling, tears flowing on command. Wow. Andy, Uncle is so scary. Did I do something wrong? The onlookers, especially parents, started pointing fingers. How can this guy be like this? Why argue with a kid? Zero manners. Seeing this, Caleb jumped out to play the good guy, squatting to wipe Bella's tears. Bella, don't cry. Uncle is bad. We won't talk to him. Media friends, you see this? This is Mad Jax's true face. He can't even tolerate a child. How could he have any love? I watched the performance of this fake family of 3, feeling nothing but amusement. System ready? Always ready. Truth aura charging. Special item, horror nursery rhyme sound effect loaded. The real show is later. I snapped my fingers at Lillian Tubbs. Let's go to the skate park. The Terror Nursery rhyme, the event reached the parent-child skateboard challenge. It was a huge U-shaped ramp. I sat on a bench drinking Red Bull, watching Lily play with a skateboard on flat ground. Her athletic nerves weren't as good as mine, but she learned fast. Just then, Bella rode over on a pink children's skateboard, surrounded by Victoria and Caleb. She seemed to have forgotten the unpleasantness earlier, or rather, she had a new bad idea. Uncle Jax. Bella skated to me, holding the board, speaking innocently. Do you know how to skateboard? Can you teach me? Auntie says you used to be a stuntman, so you must be amazing. I watched her impassively. The original plot point. In the book, Jax agrees, and she kicks the board at him while going down a slope, then fakes a fall. Jax saves her, getting his shin bone broken by the board, only to be accused of pushing her. Teach you. I smiled, putting down my drink. Sure. Victoria and Caleb exchanged a glance, a gleam of success in their eyes. Let's go to that big slope. Bella pointed to a high ramp nearby, malice flickering in her eyes. At the top of the slope, cameras were positioned below, pointed at us. Uncle, I'm ready. Bella stood on the board, back to me. Just as I approached, she suddenly stomped violently on the tail of the skateboard. The board shot backward like a cannonball, straight for my knees. The force and angle were definitely practiced. If a normal person took that hit, their knee would be shattered. Simultaneously, Bella threw herself to the ground, opening her mouth to wail. Ah, Uncle, don't push me. If it were the original Jax, he would stupidly block the board or catch the child. But I had predicted her prediction. The moment the skateboard flew, I didn't block. Instead, I executed an extremely exaggerated, Michael Jackson-esque moonwalk side glide. Whoosh! The pink skateboard flew past my pant leg. It didn't hit me. Instead, carrying massive momentum, it continued flying backward. And 3 meters behind me stood the event sponsor's display, a crystal angel statue worth a fortune, provided by a luxury brand Victoria spent big money to invite. Crash! A loud explosion of sound. Under everyone's gaze, the crystal angel, symbolizing love and peace, was cut in half by the pink skateboard, shattering into glass dust. Dead silence. Bella lay on the ground, mouth wide open. The second half of Uncle Don't Push Me was stuck in her throat. She was dumbfounded. Victoria was dumbfounded. Caleb was dumbfounded. That statue was reportedly worth $2 million. I stood to the side, patting my chest, looking shaken, shouting to the stunned crowd below. Holy SHD! That was close. Whose kid is this? Such like strength? Is she trying to murder her uncle or crash the venue? Ms. Sterling, has your niece practiced the grandson ending kick? Good thing I dodged fast, or it wouldn't be the angel shattering, it would be my kneecaps. Livestream reversal. Victoria screamed and charged up the slope. My statue. Her heart bled, looking at the shards. This was a borrowed exhibit, but being the villain boss, she thought fast. She immediately pointed at me, roaring, Jax, it was you. You definitely pushed Bella, causing the board to lose control. To get revenge on the company, you'd use such dirty tactics? Bella finally reacted. Though scared of the trouble she caused, she knew as long as she blamed me, her aunt would protect her. Wow. Uncle pushed me. He pushed me hard. I lost my footing. Bella cried her heart out, acting worthy of an Oscar. The uninformed crowd started wavering again. After all, who would believe a 6-year-old would intentionally kick a skateboard to maim someone? Too much. Framing a child. Call the police. Caleb seized the chance to lead the rhythm. Jax, are you human? Destroying the statue is one thing, but slandering a child. I looked at them and smiled coldly. Did I push her? Why don't we ask the child? Ignoring Victoria, I walked straight to the fake crying Bella and crouched down. What are you doing? Don't touch her. Victoria, try to stop me. Get lost. My eyes sharpened, releasing a violent aura that actually scared Victoria back 2 steps. I stared into Bella's eyes. System. Activate Truth Aura. Target lock. Bella Sterling. Add effect. Hell Demon. Visible only to target. Received. Effect loaded. In Bella's eyes, the sunny, handsome me suddenly changed. Black smoke seemed to rise behind me. My eyes turned blood red, and my mouth split to my ears, revealing rows of sharp teeth. Simultaneously, a gloomy, terrifying nursery rhyme played in her ears, audible only to her. Lying children will have their tongues pulled out, made into dolls, mouths sewn shut, hung on a wall. In that instant, Bella's world became a horror movie. Aya! Bella let out a scream that didn't sound human. It was fear from the depths of her soul. Then, a smell of ammonia spread. She wet her pants. I was wrong. I was wrong. Don't eat me. Don't pull my tongue. Bella kicked her legs, scooting backward on the ground, crying hysterically and babbling. I kicked it. I kicked the skateboard on purpose to break his legs. Wah. And he taught me. And he said if I got hurt, we could frame Uncle Jax. I did what you said. Why is there a ghost? Wah. The venue went so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Every camera, every phone captured this earth-shattering reversal perfectly. Victoria's face lost all color. She stood frozen, struck by lightning. And he taught you. The luxury sponsor representative walked over, face green with rage. Caleb tried to cover Bella's mouth, but I simply tripped him, sending him eating dirt. Did everyone hear that? I stood up, system effects off, returning to the kind uncle. I spread my hands to the camera, shouting, "This is Sterling Dynamics family education." To frame me, they coached a 6-year-old to commit assault. Ms. Sterling, this isn't just fraud, it's solicitation of a minor to commit a crime. This kid is 6, and you've ruined her. I think this Guardian Angel event should be canceled. Rename it Demon Training Camp. In the live stream, the chat exploded. WDF. This reversal? Is that kid a devil? Break his legs. Victoria coached a child to commit crimes? That's jail time, right? This is high society education. Learn something new. The Red Bull Pack the Charity event ended in chaos. Victoria was besieged by sponsors demanding $2 million in compensation and faced police questioning regarding soliciting a minor. Caleb hid in his nanny van, and the brat Bella, due to extreme shock, was reportedly sent to a child psychologist. Probably the first time she'd ever received real education. Lily, Tubbs, and I sat at a barbecue stand outside the park. Mad Jax, you're a god. Tubbs replayed the footage while eating a skewer. What did you say to that kid? How did you scare the pee out of her? Nothing. I drank a beer. Just told her a Grimm's fairy tale. Lily typed furiously on her computer. Jax, public opinion has completely flipped. The bot's cursing you are defecting. Also, someone made a gif of your moonwalk dodge. The internet is calling it the Mad Jax evade, saying you're a martial arts master wasted on showbiz. Master? No, just afraid of dying. I laughed. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. Unknown number. Hello. A crisp, magnetic female voice came from the other end. Mr. Harper? I'm Vicky, head of Red Bull Greater China. Interested in a chat. Vicky? The top-tier sponsor who only lived in dialogue in the original book? My eyes lit up. Ms. Vicky, I've heard of you. Chat about what? If it's about paying for the Crystal Angel, I have no money. Laughter rang out. That broken angel is worthless. I'm interested in you. Is your volcano jump plan still valid? Of course. Good. Small ponds like Sterling Dynamics can't raise sharks. Come to Red Bull. I'll give you top-tier sponsorship. Only one requirement. Vicky paused, her tone serious and excited. If you play for the highest stakes. I want the world to see what a true maniac looks like. I gripped the phone, watching the sunset, a wild smile forming. Deal. But Ms. Vicky, before that, I need to completely sink the sinking ship that is Sterling Dynamics. Hanging up, I looked at my sister and Tubbs. Full. Let's go home. Next stop, we're doing something even more thrilling. In the distance, the Sterling Dynamics building looked shaky in the night. In my plan, this would be their final glory, because next, I was going to show them the iron fist of the law and the vindictiveness of a maniac with a system. Rainy night pity, the meeting with Vicky was at an experimental underground boxing gym. No coffee here, only sweat, blood, and heavy metal music. Vicky was even cooler in person. Early 30s, silver short hair, biker jacket, punching a sandbag. Thud thud. Here. She stopped, tossing me a water bottle, eyes sharp as a hawk. Heard you not only flipped Sterling's table, but scared their little demon into incontinence. Standard procedure. I opened the water. You didn't call me for gossip. Direct. Vicky took a document from an assistant and slapped it on my chest. Red Bull Suicide Squad. Sorry, Red Bull Extreme Sports Division S-Class contract. $2 million annual salary, plus full sponsorship and insurance for all challenges. As long as you dare to risk your life, we dare to pay. Also, I paid your breach of contract fee. Tubbs dropped his jaw. He nearly dropped the camera. I glanced at the contract. One core clause. Challenges must possess irreproducibility, extreme danger, and visual impact. Debut location. Mount Semeru active volcano, Indonesia. Wingsuit flying over a volcano, plus base jumping. I whistled. Spicy. Sterling Dynamics is in deep trouble. Vicky wiped her sweat, smiling playfully. Victoria's capital chain broke. The Crystal Angel was only $2 million, but offending the luxury brand killed her other endorsements. Plus the child scandal. Her stock has hit the limit down for 3 days. She needs a lifeline. Vicky looked at me. And that lifeline is you. Me? You were raised by Sterling. If you turn back now, help her stabilize the situation, and bring the volcano rights back to her, she can flip the script. So, Vicky said meaningfully, get ready. That woman is about to start her groveling performance. I sneered, tossing the signed contract back. Groveling? Sure. I'll just add fuel to the fire. Cremation level. No ashes left. The Land Rover Defender. Vicky's intel was spot on. 3 days later, a typhoon hit. Rain poured down. Lily and I sat in the bulletproof, modified Land Rover Defender Vicky gave me as a signing bonus, heading to get hot pot. Just exiting the hotel garage, we were blocked. In the rain, a lone figure stood under a street lamp, soaked and shivering. She wore a thin white dress, in this weather, clearly selling pity. Hair plastered her face, holding a soggy sign, Forgive Emmy. Victoria Sterling. If it were the original Jax, seeing this, his heart would break. He'd rush out, hug her, give her his coat, and sign the slave contract in tears. Jax, is she sick? Lily frowned in the passenger seat. It's raining like the Notebook out there. What drama is she acting out? Tubbs in the back seat clicked his shutter frantically. Wow. CEO Victoria kneeling in the rain for reconciliation? This headline is explosive. Mad Jax, what's the play? I rolled the window down halfway, lit a cigarette, and didn't step out. Since she wants to act, let's cooperate. Victoria saw my car. Hope burst in her eyes, a mix of greed, calculation, and self-touched deep love. She rushed over, clinging to the window. Her usually haughty face was pale, mascara running down to her chin like a mutated panda. Jax, you finally saw me. Victoria's voice trembled, pitiful. I knew you were in the car. I know you still care, right? Otherwise, why stop? I exhaled smoke, watching her through the rain. Ms. Sterling, has anyone told you that you look like the ghost from The Grudge right now? I stopped because you blocked the road. My car insurance is expensive. I don't want to waste it hitting trash. Victoria's face stiffened, but she was prepared. Ignoring the insult, she flopped down, kneeling in the mud. Thud. Jax, I was wrong. I thought a lot these days. I was blind, deceived by Caleb. Actually, the person I always loved was you. Those insults. I only gaslit you because I cared too much. I wanted you to be better, to get your attention. Lily made a gagging motion. Victoria continued, weeping, come back. I'll give you half of Sterling's shares. I'll terminate Caleb. We'll get married, okay? Let's restart. I stayed silent, just watching. Victoria thought I wavered. Men are cheap, she thought. Show a little weakness, and even a thorn like Jax softens. 5 years of feelings don't just vanish. She reached out, trying to grab the window edge. Jax, it's raining, I'm cold. Let me in. I looked at her dirty hand and sighed. Then, I pulled an umbrella from the door storage. A cheap, transparent plastic convenience store umbrella. Victoria's eyes lit up. He still cares. He's given me an umbrella. She reached for it, intending to grab my hand too. I flicked my wrist, avoiding her touch, and tossed the umbrella into the mud in front of her. Then, I pulled out my phone, opened a QR payment code, and held it up. This umbrella, retail price $9.99. Since you're my ex-boss, call it $10. Keep the change. Scan to pay. No credit. The hot pot dinner, the rain was loud, but the air was deadly silent. Victoria froze mid-reach, her face contorting from touch to stunned, then to twisted disbelief. What did you say? I said pay up. I shook the phone. Is Ms. Sterling so bankrupt she doesn't have $10? If not, I can call the cops to take you to a shelter. Free hot water and buns there. Jax Harper. Victoria finally broke character. She scrambled up, screaming hysterically. Must you humiliate me like this? I knelt for you. What more do you want? I offered to marry you. Shouldn't you be grateful? Grateful? I laughed until tears nearly came. System, truth aura, full power. Let's see how black this woman's heart is. Command received. Strong truth aura deployed. Victoria opened her mouth to continue her moral blackmail, but her lips trembled uncontrollably. I actually don't love you at all. You're a broke stuntman, useless except for your body. If Hassan hadn't pulled funding and Caleb hadn't been sued by brands, bankrupting the company, I wouldn't be in this ghost place kneeling to a lowlife like you. As the words fell, Victoria clamped her mouth shut in horror. Why? Why did she say it again? I nodded, satisfied. Did you record that, Tubbs? You bet. Tubbs yelled excitedly. Live streaming to 3 million people. Everyone heard Ms. Sterling's true love confession. I looked at Victoria, eyes piercing. Heard that, Ms. Sterling? That sounds more like you. Because of love, so I abused you. Save that lie for yourself. You came to find me to use my remaining value to plug your financial holes. You wanted to go back to being a workhorse, to pay your debts, raise Caleb, maybe even raise that brat. In the book, the original fool believed you. But I'm not him. I started the engine, the beast roaring. Victoria, don't think you're important. In my eyes, you're less than dog SHD on the road. I walk around dog SHD. I just want to hose off. Move. Don't block my hot pot. Victoria stood in the rain, shaking. Not just from cold, but from the shame of being completely skinned alive. Jax, you'll regret this. Without me, you can't survive in this industry. She was still struggling. I ignored her, shifting gears. Suddenly, a figure burst from bushes. Jax, I'll kill you. It was Caleb. This idiot had been hiding in the bushes, waiting for the brotherly reconciliation scene. Seeing it implode, combined with new and old hatred, he rushed out with a baseball bat, aiming for my window. Jax, look out! Lily screamed. I didn't even blink. You think a Land Rover Defender's bulletproof glass breaks for a twig like you? Thud. The bat hit the window with a dull thud, not even leaving a scratch. Instead, the recoil cracked the web of Caleb's hand. The bat flew out of his grip, bouncing back to smash directly into his nose. Ah, my nose. Caleb covered his face, falling into the mud. Blood mixed with rain. That nose was a fresh prosthetic. Now it was crooked to Grandma's house. You did that yourself. I lowered the window, slightly. Dashcam recorded it clearly. Even scammers need to follow basic physics. I floored the gas. The massive off-road tires kicked up a wave of mud, perfectly plastering the two of them. The car sped off, leaving behind two pathetic, clown-like figures in the rain and the faint sound of sirens. Yes, I called the cops earlier for armed robbery attempt. The volcano packed inside the hot pot restaurant. Steam rose. Lily dipped tripe, laughing at her phone. Ducks, I'm dying. That live stream recording is topping every chart. Netizens nicknamed Victoria $10 ex-wife and Caleb Broken Nose Bro. Sterling's official account is destroyed. 3 minority shareholders just dumped their stock. Deserved. I ate a piece of beef. Self-inflicted. Tubbs was still reminiscing. Mad Jax. Selling the umbrella for $10 was god tier. That anti-trope move raised the satisfaction level to the max. How did you think of it? It's called refusing internal conflict and creating external conflict. I drank some iced plum juice. They want to morally kidnap me. I'll monetarily humiliate them. It's a dimensional strike. Vicky called. Beautiful work, Jax. She sounded happy. That scene was better than any PR. Now everyone knows you're the victim and a hardliner who never looks back. Red Bull's stock even rose. But Vicky's tone shifted. Be careful. A rat like Victoria bites when cornered. She's on the verge of bankruptcy, but she holds one last card. What card? The permit for the Volcano Challenge. Vicky said darkly. Sterling Dynamics signed exclusive filming rights for Mount Semeru 2 years ago. It hasn't expired. If you want to stream there, we need her permission. I frowned. Troublesome. Semeru was the most active, visually explosive volcano, and the starting point of the original Jax's darkening. Ending it there had ritual significance. What does she want? She contacted my assistant. Vicky scoffed. She says you can go, but you must take Caleb, and it has to be a duo challenge. She wants Caleb to leech your heat and maybe sabotage you during the challenge, so Caleb can take over. Take Caleb? Let that broken-nosed, scalded crotch waist jump a volcano with me. A crazy idea flashed in my mind. Agree to it. Are you crazy? Vicky gasped. That's an active volcano. If they tamper with equipment or the route, you'll die. Vicky forgot my nickname? I looked at the neon lights, eyes bloodthirsty. I melt yeggs. Taking Caleb is perfect. In the book, the original Jax was pushed off there. This time, I'm going to rewrite the script in front of the whole world. Tell Victoria I accept. Not only will I take Caleb, but I want a 360-degree, nonstop live stream. I want her to watch her last hope turn to ash. Silence on the line, then Vicky's excited voice. Good. Crazy enough. I'll arrange the best security and notaries. Barring acts of God, no human error allowed. But I have a feeling the human error will be coming from you. Hanging up, I looked at the boiling red soup. Full. Pack up. Next stop, Indonesia. We're hosting a grand funeral for Sterling Dynamics. Airport standoff a week before departure. The media war began. Victoria sold her last assets to buy bots, hyping the narrative. Hashtag Caleb Reed Braves injury for Volcano. Hashtag final duel of the twins. Hashtag prodigal son returns. Hashtag Jax agrees to jump with Caleb. Caleb was painted as a disabled but determined hero, nose smashed by himself, crotch scalded by himself. And I was the bad-tempered but sentimental brother. I almost puked. Departure day at the airport. Caleb, wearing huge sunglasses and a mask, hiding the crooked nose, sat in a wheelchair, pushed by Victoria. A few remaining loyal fans held signs crying, "Brother fighting." Seeing me approach with a massive Red Bull team and top-tier gear, Caleb shrank in his wheelchair. Jax, Victoria blocked my path, eyes dark. We signed a waiver, but I'm warning you, this is a global live stream. If you dare touch Caleb, you're a murderer. I lower my sunglasses, looking down at the deranged woman. Ms. Sterling, you overthink. Deal with him? I don't need hands. The wind could blow him away. I walked to Caleb, patting his shoulder. He nearly jumped out of the chair. Don't be nervous, superstar. I whispered, voice like a devil. I admire your courage. Do you know where we're going? The entrance to hell. Tell me if your parachute doesn't open or your glider snaps. Will you turn into roast pork? Caleb's face went white, trembling violently. Why you? Don't scare me, Victoria said. Said it's all arranged. Arranged? I smiled wider. Do you think a woman who used her 6-year-old niece to frame someone wouldn't treat a useless piece of trash like you as a final sacrifice for a massive insurance payout? Caleb's pupils quaked, whipping his head around to look at Victoria. Victoria didn't hear me, but seeing Caleb's suspicious gaze, her heart skipped a beat. The seed of discord was planted. Attention passengers, flight to Surabaya is boarding. I straightened my collar and walked to security. Let's go, trash. Time to meet your judgment. Mount Semeru, Indonesia, base of Mount Semeru, known as the roof of Java. The air smelled of sulfur, the ground was hot, and the distant craters smoked like the Earth's cigar. Our camp was at the safety line. The Red Bull team was professionally terrifying, instruments everywhere. Sterling Dynamics' side was pathetic. Victoria had maxed her last credit cards. Mad Jax, look. Tubbs pointed his lens at Sterling's tent. Caleb was clutching his gear like a neurotic hamster, terrified to let go of even his water bottle. He kept glancing fearfully at Victoria. I laughed. The insurance payout paranoia was working. System, how big is Caleb's shadow? Answer, 100% coverage. Trust in Victoria is negative. Detected him Googling how to tell if parachute is sabotaged and can accidental death beneficiary be changed. Good. Victoria walked over, wearing professional gear but looking haggard. Jax, she tried to sound calm. For the broadcast effect, the director suggests a high five before the jump. To show boundless love. Boundless love. I nearly choked on my energy gel. Ms. Sterling, you want to show love or stick a kick me sign on my back? Victoria Estefanez. Nonsense. It's for ratings. The whole internet is watching. Do you want to look cold-blooded? Better cold-blooded than no blood. I zip my wingsuit. Tell your idol, if he's scared, quit now. Don't pee your pants in the sky. Frozen urine falling hurts. Victoria hissed. Jax, don't be smug. Once you're on the platform, you'll know despair. I watched her leave, smirking. Despair? That's a specialty I save for you. The jump edged next morning, altitude 3,676 meters. The helicopter dropped us at the cliff platform near the crater. This was the life and death line. Below, rolling smoke and dark red magma heat, waves hit our faces. The world watched. 50 million concurrent viewers. Caleb and I stood side by side. I was relaxed, throwing peace signs at the drone. Caleb's legs shook like he was tap dancing, face white. If not for the safety rope, he'd be on the ground. Viewers, I shouted. Today we challenged the limit of human courage. Thanks to my ex-boss, Ms. Sterling, and ex-colleague, Mr. Reed. Without their pressure, I'd still be a nameless double. Victoria stood at the command post, staring at my backpack. Ready. Her voice shook. 3, 2, wait, I shouted, interrupting the countdown. Caleb flinched. What now? Victoria screamed. We're live. I turned to Caleb, smiling. Superstar, you're shaking so much. Is the gear uncomfortable? How about we swap? Caleb and Victoria's faces changed simultaneously. No. No need. Caleb screeched, hugging his pack. My gear is custom. No swap. Don't be polite. I stepped closer. We're brothers. If your shoot fails, I'd be heartbroken. Come on, take mine. Red Bull top tier, 100% safe. I won't swap. Caleb screamed hysterically, looking at Victoria with terror. He was scared. Scared Victoria had rigged his pack. But if he swapped, I would die. But he dared not gamble. What if Victoria didn't rig his, but rigged mine? His brain was fried. Jax, stop it. Victoria rushed to pull me away. Time's up. Jump. I shook her off, eyes turning sharp. System, time to go all in. Activat ultimate Trusoha. Range, Victoria, Caleb. Max effect. Received. Consumed all remaining Mad Dog points. Trusoha max version activated. No one can lie, and targets will compulsively vomit their darkest secrets. Confession time. I'm not jumping. Caleb suddenly collapsed, tearing off his helmet. Victoria, you want to kill me? You want me dead, right? The live stream exploded. Victoria gasped, trying to cover his mouth, but her own mouth opened uncontrollably. You useless waste. If you don't jump, how do I get paid? Do you know how much accident insurance I bought for you? 50 million. Beneficiary is the company. Only if you die can Sterling Dynamics survive. Only if you die can I blame Jax for forcing you. You're useless alive. Your nose is crooked. Your reputation stinks. You have zero commercial value. Go D. Dead silence. Only the wind and volcano roared. Caleb froze. The audience froze. Even I paused. She was more vicious than I thought. What? What did you say? Victoria slapped her own face, but the truth kept pouring out. I said I want you dead. I rigged your ripcord. It's a dead knot. You can't pull it. Once you jump, you'll drop like a rock into the magma. No bones left. Then I can take the money and live it up abroad. Ha ha. Wait. Why am I saying this? Shut up. Shut up. Victoria frantically slapped herself, but the truth wouldn't stop. Caleb's fear vanished, replaced by insane rage. You poisonous woman. I'll kill you. Caleb lunged at Victoria. They wrestled on the cliff edge. Wonderful. I stepped back, giving them space, spreading my hands to the drone. Folks, this is the real extreme sport. The limit of humanity. Did you get that? Police should be on the way. Lily's voice came through my earpiece. Jax. Indonesian police and Interpol are landing. Evidence chain complete. Transnational attempted murder and massive insurance fraud. They're done. Choppers arrived. Not Red Bulls, but police. Victoria collapsed hearing the sirens. It was over. Caleb tried to strangle her, but was pinned by security. Let me go. She tried to kill me. I looked down at Victoria. Ms. Sterling, your groveling script became an attempted murder documentary. By the way, I had someone check Caleb's shoot last night. The knot was already untied. Victoria looked up, eyes venomous. You knew. I didn't. I shrugged. I just habitually guard against trash. Turns out, you're worse than trash. Police dragged them away. Victoria screamed. Cox, you're a psycho. A monster. I waved. Thanks for the compliment. Rehab well in the asylum. Leap of freedom, the cliff was cleared. Just me. The volcano roared, smoke billowing. Mad Jax still jumping? Tubbs asked, voice shaking. That was scary. Should we bail? Bail. I walked to the edge, feeling the thermal updraft. My show is just starting. I smiled at the drone. That was pest control. This is enjoyment. This jump isn't for anyone else. It's for me. Goodbye to the past. Goodbye to the original Jax. From now on, the sky is wide, and Daddy flies how he wants. I spread my arms, like an eagle breaking its chains. I leaped. Whoosh. Gravity vanished. I opened the wingsuit, carving a perfect arc through the air, piercing the volcanic ash, skimming over the dark red magma. The heat reflected on my goggles, adrenaline peaking. This is freedom. No gaslighting, no block my you, no schemes. Only wind, fire in me. W-O-O-Cho-O. I did a 360-degree barrel roll, flipped a middle finger to the abyss below, pulled the chute, and soared into the blue sky. Grand finale. Family photo? No, it's a mugshot 3 months later. Private beach in Hawaii. Sun, sand, bikinis. I lay on a beach chair, sipping iced coconut water. Nearby, Lily in a cute swimsuit was building a sandcastle with Tubbs. Tubbs was buried in sand, only his head showing. Offshore, a luxury yacht stamped with a Red Bull logo bobbed. Vicky's year-end bonus to me. The TV played international news. Verdict in the Sterling Dynamics fraud case. Ex-CEO Victoria Sterling sentenced to life imprisonment for attempted murder, fraud, and solicitation of minors. Artist Caleb Reed sentenced to 15 years for fraud and tax evasion. On screen, Victoria wore a prison uniform, head shaved, eyes dead. Caleb cried in court, still a man-baby. As for the brat Bella, she was in a juvenile correction facility, reportedly reciting laws daily. Deserved. Lily changed the channel. Jax, stop watching trash. True. I smiled, pulling a photo from my pocket. The system materialized it. The original ending's creepy family photo. System. This was the original fate. Yes. An abyss of resentment and darkness. Ugly. I lit the corner with a lighter. The flame devoured the twisted darkness, turning it to ash in the sea breeze. Victoria, Caleb, Vella. Let's never meet again, in this life or the next. Out in prison. I'll live this life properly for the original Jax. I stood up, stretching. Tubbs, stop playing dead. Lily, get on the boat. Vicky said there's a party tonight. Coming mad, Jax. Tubbs exploded out of the sand. Wait for me. Lily grabbed her flow tie. The sun was good. As long as I have no manners, no one can bind me. As long as I'm crazy enough, the world is my playground. Story complete.